Hi, Aslo Recaps here. Today I'm going to explain superhero film called Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Before we get started, I challenge you. You have to click on subscribe and activate notification in less than 5 seconds. You got it? Alright, click the like button too and let's get started. Janet Van Dyne meets an exiled wanderer named Kong during her days trapped in the quantum realm. After the Avengers' battle with Thanos, Scott Lang has now become a successful memoirist and has been residing contentedly with Hope Van Dyne. Cassie, Scott's now teenage daughter, has a rocky connection with her father since she has become a political activist. Cassie discloses that she has been developing on a gadget that can establish communication with the quantum realm while visiting Hope's parents, Hank Pym and Janet. When Janet learns this, she becomes terrified and slams the gadget shut, but the message is received, causing a portal to open and draw the 5 of them into the quantum realm. While Hope, Janet, and Pym investigate a vast city in search of information, Scott and Cassie are discovered by locals who are overthrowing their king. Lord Kryler, a previous ally of Janet's, informs Hope, Janet, and Pym that things have changed since she left and that he is now working for Kong, the new ruler of the quantum realm. The 3 must escape and take Kryler's ship. In the meantime, rebel leader Jentorra informs the Langs that Janet's association with Kong contributed to Kang's ascent to power. Kang's men shortly launch an assault on the rebels, commanded by Imodioke, who turns out to be Darren Cross after surviving his apparent death at Scott's hands. Janet explains to Hope and Pym why she didn't want to deal with the quantum realm ever again while aboard Kryler's ship. Kong had said that if Janet helped him rebuild his multiversal power core, he and Janet could both escape the quantum realm. When they finally succeed in fixing it, Janet has a vision of Kong destroying and capturing entire timelines. In order to stop Janet from turning against him, Kong admits that he was banished by his parents out of fear. Janet, who was outnumbered, deployed her Pym particles to make the power core unusable huge. After regaining his powers, Kong eventually overcame the quantum realm. The Langs are brought before Kong, who threatens to kill Cassie unless Scott helps him recover his power core. Scott is then brought to the core, where he contracts. When Hope shows up, she saves him from drowning in a sea of versions of himself and helps him get the power core. However, Kong breaks the agreement, seizing Janet and destroying her ship, which was carrying Hank. Pym assists Scott and Hope as they travel to Kong after being saved by his aunts, which were also drawn into the quantum realm, swiftly developed, and turned hyper-intelligent. Jentorra is saved by Cassie, and together they launch a rebellion against Kong and his troops. Cross loses his life during the combat after Cassie persuades him to swap sides and fight Kong. When Hope returns, Scott and Janet use a combination of Pym particles to destroy the power core and knock Kong into it, whereupon he is consumed into oblivion. Janet fixes the power core as she, Pym, Hope, and Cassie jump through a portal home, but Kong attacks Scott and nearly beats him to submission. Scott and Hope can go back home after Cassie reopens the portal on her end. Scott cheerfully carries on with his life, but he starts to second-guess what he was told about Kang's death being the beginning of something bad coming. In a scene during the middle of the credits, a number of Kong iterations, led by Immortus, express their sorrow for the death of one of their own while formulating their multiversal revolt. In a post-credits sequence, Loki and Mobius run into Victor Timely, a different Kong version, on Earth in 1901. And that was how the movie ended.